Hello beautiful people and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, it's great to have you. If you're returning, it is good to see you again. In today's video, you'll receive my channeled message, plus a page from the Daily Angel Guidance book and also a card from the Universal Love Healing Oracle deck. Please note that this is a collective group message, so it may not resonate with you, and that is simply okay. Come back tomorrow where it may be more aligned with what you need to know. Have you ever had a loss or gotten yourself into a situation? And generally, a lot of the time it's with money, or it even could be a job, or it could be a broken relationship. Particularly money. Have you ever got yourself either lost money, whether it be with gambling, with trading, it could be that you overspent money, you didn't realize, or you've accumulated quite a high credit card debt, and you've got yourself in such debt to the point that you don't know how you're going to pay each of those debts. Have you ever felt that emotion? It feels like the world is caving in on you and you just don't have a clue of how you're going to manage to be able to pay for this. And what happens is then through this overwhelm and this anxiousness of how the hell am I going to pay it, sometimes we go to this place of desperation and we really endeavour to try and find ways to pay. Or it could be, if you're a trader in particular, or, maybe you bet on horses or whatever it is, it could be that you place more money in the hope that you're going to win what you lost. And what happens is when we come from that place of lack, guess what you attract? Now, I want to share an analogy because my husband is really good at analogies. So I wanted to share this. And he said it was almost like, imagine, you're chasing someone. They're running from you, right? And the faster you run, the faster they run. Very much like us, if we're endeavoring to attain a goal or money or a job or a relationship, if we're really running and we need it because we're in a state of despair, we're literally repelling what we want. I just wanted to give you, and I didn't do it justice as my husband shared it. However, I hope that it gives you a bit of an insight. And so I wanted to start off this message with really sharing you. I'm going to give you alternative words from desperation. I don't want you to hear desperation. Go, no, I don't come from a place of desperation. But if I offer you different words, you may say, yeah, that feels right for me. And oh dear, I am coming from that place. Okay? So are you coming from a place of desperation? And some other words are you coming from a place of lack? Are you coming from a place of urgency, eagerness, excitement, and even impatience? You might decide that one of those words work better for you, and that's okay. Which one fits you? Which one feels right for you? Whether you're wanting to get a job, reach a goal, finish a project, whatever it is you want, do you feel it's so far or it's so hard to attain? Yeah? And I wanted to share the word desperation. What's the definition? What's the meaning of desperation? It's a state of despair, typically one which results in rash or extreme behaviour, right? Meaning we lose the ability to logically think. Or you can use the word analytically, right? Look up the word logically. You'll understand that it absolutely is that, yeah? Similar words to desperation: hopelessness, despair, distress, anguish, pain, misery, regretfulness, rashness, disheartenment, and defeatish. That's what I wrote? So defeat, I'm just going to write that. Any of those words, are they emotions you're feeling? Are you feeling hopelessness? Are you feeling in despair? Do you feel distress? Do you feel pain? Do you feel misery? Do you feel rash? Do you feel anguish? Right? If you're feeling this emotion, that's where you're operating from. That emotion is what's driving the way you are. You are aware of that, right? When we experience a loss, whether it be loss of money, loss of a job, and maybe even loss of a relationship, right? That you've broken up with your partner. For most people, a loss greatly impacts the balance of our emotional and mental state of being, right? When we lost something, whether it be money, it really does impact us. Take a moment. If you've lost money, right, or you're in debt over money, it really does impact your emotional and mindset state of being, right? Or your mental state of being. Leaving you to feel a sense of urgency to replace what you lost, right? For some people, it could even be a relationship, that you broke up a relationship, but you don't like being on your own. And so you're like, I want to get another relationship. I do not like being alone. And so sometimes just through that state of desperation, you've settled. How many of you is this hitting home right now? You had a breakup and you struggled with that breakup. You still hadn't healed from that breakup. And someone crossed your path. And because you're in a state of desperation, meaning you didn't like being alone, you settled. And you started a relationship, or you began a relationship with a person that wasn't right for you from the start, purely because you were coming from a place of desperation. And what happens is you get too far into it and you don't say anything, or you don't break it up because you don't want to hurt that person. That's sad. Because how are you now in that relationship? Don't know why I was going down there, but clearly there's some of you that are watching that. And for those of you who've had a loss of a job, out of desperation, did you settle for a job that you really don't like, you don't enjoy? And you haven't taken the time to go, you know what, I'm not happy with this job, I'm going to change it. Can you see the long-term impact that operating from a state of desperation can have on you long-term? Money the same. So there is a few angles that just operating from a state of desperation, a place of desperation, impacts your life long term. This is all just being channeled, by the way. This is not, and I hadn't even looked at that perspective. Leading you to come from a place of desperation. And guess what? Just as I discussed, when we're in that state, we lose the ability to I'll say it again. When we're in that unbalanced state and we're coming from a place of desperation, right? We lose the ability of our logical judgment and decisions. We don't see things for what they really are, because we're coming from a place of, so we don't have that ability. So if you've got a partner, you didn't see them for who they really are when you met them. The job that you've got, if you were in a state of desperation, you didn't see the job for what it really is today. Same with money. You may have done things that you really regret doing because you didn't have the logical ability. So how do we gain that when we're coming from that place of desperation? Yeah? We don't think about things the same way we do when we're in a balanced state. We don't see things for what they really are when we're emotionally and mentally balanced, or mindset balanced. Yeah? Definitely don't take the time to see how we feel about the decisions. Yeah? We don't feel it. Our gut may be screaming and going, it's not right, he's not right, she's not right, the job's not right. Our gut intuition is screaming at us, but because we don't have the logical ability, because we're operating from a space of desperation, we don't listen. We don't hear our intuition. We go with what this is screaming, what this is saying. No, I need that. I need that. I need that. I've got to have that. That's gonna make me feel balanced. I'm gonna feel good when I have that. I just want a relationship. Yeah, I'm gonna feel good when I have that relationship. And I feel, yep, I'll have that job and I'll be able to pay my bills because I have money. Yeah? And guess what? When we're in that state of desperation, due to our energy, what do we attract? If we're coming from a negative energy because it's desperate, what are we attracting? Are we attracting what we really want, or are we attracting what we think we need? Now, some of you are going, okay, well, if I'm in that state, and firstly, it's about identifying that you are in that state and you are operating from that state of desperation. It's about owning your truth in this. If you go, if you say and you find and you go inward and go, you know what, yeah, I am, right? Because first we have to identify and own that before anything else. I can give you all the other questions, but unless you say, you know what, hell yeah, I am operating from this space, the rest of the questions are useless. Okay? That's first. Then I want you to breathe. When we're operating from a state of any emotional unbalance, breathing can absolutely bring you back to balance. Breathe. And I want you to ask yourself, what's your why or your reason of what it is you want so badly? Take time. Identify it. Because just maybe the relationship you want is not really what you want. You haven't allowed yourself to grieve from the past relationship. And yet, because you think you cannot do it and you can't be alone, that's what this is telling you. Is that truth? You may have been single for 5 years before. Yes, there's that fear that you're going to be alone. But are you willing to settle for someone that doesn't fulfill you? Are you willing to settle that you don't feel content? Just asking. Okay, so we've got 5 tips. After you identify your why or your reason of what you want, what you're getting, firstly, we're going to go back. Identify what you want. What is it you're wanting? For some of you, it's going to be straight up. You're going to go, yeah, I already know that. Then ask yourself, why do you want it? What's your why? Why do you want that particular thing? Third, how are you going to get it? Right? How in your mind are you going to get it? 4, what actions must you take to attain it? Write it down. 5, then place a time frame on it. One that is, not ridiculous. And what this does, it gives you the analytical side that you may not be able to see right now because you're in your head. I'm getting you out of your head onto paper. Because when you can read something, the logical brain kicks in and says, okay, yep, all right, so I've got 4 months, I've got 5 months. These are the action steps I need to take. Can you see how we take the confusion out because it's no longer in here, in that full room? Yeah, we've decluttered. So these steps are really good, but breathing, it's so important that you get back to your emotional and mindset state balance. Because as soon as we're in any heightened state, emotional state, we lose this ability. We lose our intelligence, in fact. Can you believe that? So I hope that these tools have really assisted you. Write them down, watch it again, write the questions down, and then with everything that you're chasing, I'm going to use the word chasing, write an individual thing for them. Write a plan for each individual thing. And you'll find, if it's a certain dollar figure that you're after, then break it down. If it's into weeks, months, days. When we break it down to days, it can often seem so much easier to attain. It's less overwhelming. Okay? Right, let's keep moving on to the book. What does it have for us? Work with your angelic teammates. So before I read this, if you want to take a breath with me and just close your eyes, just so you can absorb all the goodness that this message has for you. We angels hear and appreciate your every prayer, as each one is an invitation to become more involved with your life. The moment that you request our help, we take action, often behind the scenes, where you're not consciously aware of your words manifesting into form. Today, we'd like to bring to your attention the topic of teamwork. To understand that discussion, think, is an analogy of a sports team. In basketball, the ball is thrown from a player to the player according to which person is closest to the net, who has a clear shot and who specializes in a certain move. Oh, I know where this is going. When you pray, you make the first pass of the ball and we always catch it. As we work on what you've asked for, we throw the ball back and forth between the spiritual and the physical dimensions. It's always in motion, coming ever closer to the basket which you're standing next to. And when the prayer is manifest, we give the ball to you so that you can sink it into the net. If you refuse to catch it because of fears that you don't deserve it, can't handle success or any other insecurities, then the ball drops. We hope that this will help you to understand manifestation of prayers. We're a team that we depend on you to throw us the ball to initiate each session and catch it at the end for the win. If you're aware of resistance within yourself, we'll help you to open up to receive. With great compassion and love, we ask you to let us assist you more often. We love you. Thought for today. I drop any resistance I may have to receiving, allowing my prayers to be answered. It is safe for me to be happy. Okay. That is just reassurance that if you take the time. Now, for those of you who don't believe or angels and the spiritual side of it, that's okay. I've got another option for you. For those of you who are analytical, logical beings, this really indicated that, as it said with the angels, have special abilities. I'm just going to use that word. There are people in your proximity that have different abilities that are going to assist you to really shift out of that state of desperation or whatever it is you're struggling with, whether it be money, whether it be a job, whether it be a partner, whatever it is, there is people in your close proximity that you can call on. It's about you reaching out and sharing with them what's going on with you. People cannot assist you unless you share with them. And we often don't share because we have a fear of judgment. What are they going to say? What are they going to think? However, I'm going to stipulate that there is at least someone in your close proximity that you can trust, and that would be only too honoured to assist you in moving forward and really shifting that space of desperation to one of like, yeah, you know what, I've got this. Let's just take a baby step. Let's really break down everything that I need to do, especially if it's financial. That's what I did. And I really did call on people who were better financial minds all those years ago. Yeah. And the day I paid off all of those debts from my past marriage was, I had a celebration. It was like this joy. I was so proud of me. So you can do it. It just takes, sometimes we don't even think to ring the people that we owe money to and say, this is my situation, what's the lowest I can pay? It could be that you haven't even done that. Yeah, I just wanted to offer that. So that's really what I get from that. Now, before I go on to the card, I wanted to share with you, those of you who may be on the spiritual journey, you're doing a lot of personal development journey, or someone who hasn't even begun. May I make a suggestion that you go and get yourself this book? This book is so simple to read, easy to understand, and it really does share with you about the strength and the power of this. The strength and the power of how your thoughts can take you out, what your thoughts tell you, how it works, how it operates. This book is gold. It's been written by Michael A. Singer, and he is a phenomenal writer. And he does a lot of things. He's on YouTube that you can watch interviews with him. I can't get enough of him, to be honest. I so align with his perspective and what he shares in this book, The Untethered Soul, that he's just brought out a new book, Living Untethered, which is just got delivered yesterday, and I'm really excited for. I have not started reading that. And because, of course, as you know, Amazon, they give you the package deal, like, would you like to upgrade, like Macca's? So I also got the Untethered Soul, Life is a Journey guided journal. I haven't started, but I love that it's got some sayings in it, and I just thought it's just beautiful, and I really love supporting someone that I so align with, and so I wanted to share with you. If it's not your thing, that's absolutely okay. I respect that. I do have the link for the Untethered Soul in the description, and I'm going to add the other links for you if you are interested in getting them. Oh my goodness. Inner child. So what this is saying, that part of your place of desperation, where you're coming from, whether it be money, relationship, or a job, it may well be connected to something from your inner child, your younger self, that still is not healed. Yeah? And I love the message from this card. When I read it, it's what I'm getting is it's time to show them that soft, gentle side of your cat. Some people watching this right now need to hear it. And so that's all I'm going to say on that. I've spoken enough about the inner child or the younger self. And so for those of you, some of you operating from a space of desperation or a place of desperation, could well be that something from your younger self has risen to the surface that's really impacting you. Yeah? So really that takes going inward to identify that. All right. So let's see what the book has, and I'm going to read it. I love, love, love this message. So, you know what? If you so feel comfortable, close your eyes throughout this whole message and just take a deep breath with me. Just so you can really absorb the beautiful words from this message. Your inner child yearns love and attention. Your inner child wants you to have fun, so maybe it's time to stop taking things so seriously and listen to the message your inner child has for you. I live inside your heart waiting patiently. I, the one you left behind, has never left you, for through all your travels, your days and nights, I have been with you. Look back through the midst of time and the clouds of emotions and you will see me. I am here waiting. In finding me, you will become whole. In knowing me, you will know yourself better also, for we are one. I am the pure essence of you before the world took hold and reshaped you. I am the essence of your soul self, the guardian of your true self. Let us travel the rest of our path together. A whole world awaits us. A whole universe surrounds us with love. All of time resides within us. All of time unfolds before us. Let us shed light on darkness. Let us jump for joy. Let us be all that we are through life's unfolding dream. Let love conquer all. It is such a beautiful message, and I really love that this really indicates that until you fully heal and release all of your childhood trauma, pain, whatever it is almost like there is a divide. And when we do the healing, you know, and it's when I work with clients, their younger self and their adult self join. because their adult self finally validates and hears their younger self. They allow their younger self to answer the questions about their childhood rather than their adult self answer on their behalf. Because your adult self is going to look at your life through your adult eyes, not through your child eyes. So this is maybe time to really look inward and go, what is it right now in my life that I'm coming from a place of desperation that may need some healing from my younger self? I hope that you really can find, if you are coming from a place of desperation, and understand and respect how that impacts you moving forward from attaining whatever it is you want. And some of you, may have come from a place of desperation when you chose your life partner, when you chose your job, when you made a business decision. How did it turn out? Are you still in it and you're just settling? That's not what life is about. Life is to live your best life. It's not about settling. So I hope that maybe you got something from just little today. I hope that maybe I've triggered something. I've stirred the pot. And it may take 3 days for this to digest and process. And then all of a sudden something's going to come up. Remember, you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset. So invest in you. I want to thank you for spending your time with me today, as I absolutely respect your time is valuable. I do hope you enjoyed today's videos and took away the 5 steps and managed to write them down. If you didn't, rewatch this video so you can absolutely write them down and go inward. Ask yourself those questions. Find your truth. Find your answers. What's going on? Yeah? If you enjoyed today's video, I would be so grateful if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's cat's message. If you have any questions, write it in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them. And if you enjoyed this video, I would be so grateful if you just let me know that you enjoyed it. Because the more interaction I get, you know how the internet works, they may put my video forward. And as you may be well aware, my mission is to create a ripple effect. So people can really live their best life and authentic life. So for today, take care.